Okay, so I had to bust out of Wisconsin this morning. Man, I got up, mosquitoes were on me as soon as I stepped out of the camper. Those little bastards are just relentless. So hastily packed everything up, got out of there about 9:15 or so. Didn't sleep real well last night. It was hot, kind of muggy, and I don't know, I was just frustrated with how the day had ended. So anyway, got up, got out of there. Did not do a lot of video. I didn't do a lot of filming today because the scenery going down the road looked pretty much like it did yesterday, going across central Minnesota's a lot like going through northern Wisconsin. So I did go through Superior, Wisconsin. I was really hoping to get a nice view of Lake Superior while I was there, but that ended up being a bust. Superior's really kind of an industrial town, so, and there's some islands around there just offshore, and they block most of the view of the big lake, so wasn't real great. I just kind of moved on through there. I did get to see a little bit of Lake Superior as I went over a bridge, but they had construction on the bridge, so I kind of had to pay attention to where I was driving and so forth, so didn't really get a whole lot out of it. Maybe next time. Took back roads through Minnesota, 2-lane highways most of the way. Nice roads though, not a lot of traffic. Really was a pretty pleasant drive. Went through Brainerd and then up to where I'm at now, which is Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. I'm probably 30 miles east of Fargo, but it's a nice little campground. It's a independent campground, kind of kind of like a parking lot, only nicer. I mean, they've got nice grass, nice trees. They got some different activities and stuff that adults and kids can do. Got a little store here. It's pretty nice, really. Well, a lot more pleasant than where I was yesterday, just because there aren't any damn mosquitoes. I have not seen a mosquito yet. Knock on wood. We are right next to a huge clover field, and so we got a few bees around, but they're no problem. But it just really smells good, as you can imagine, being right next door to a huge clover field can be. So that's nice. So I'm gonna fix some dinner here. I got some charcoal getting hot on my little grill. I'm gonna throw a pork chop on there and have some stuff. So I'm looking forward to a nice evening without mosquitoes. I'm gonna get a nice shower here when it cools down a little bit after I have my dinner and stuff, and hopefully get a good night's sleep tonight. I'm having some kind of problem with my fridge on propane. Last night it would not get below 45 degrees on propane, and I know it's working because I can feel the heat coming off the back of it, and I tested it out before I left on this trip and it worked fine. But on electricity it's getting way cold if I set it up to the maximum cooling, and it should work even better on propane, but it's not. So I don't know. I'll see what it does tonight. If it still doesn't work right, there's an RV repair place not too far from here. I'll take it over to them tomorrow and see if they can squeeze me in and take a look at it, see if anything is obviously wrong with it that they can fix pretty quickly. If not, then I'll check with the manufacturer and see if they'll replace it. I would really rather have a 3-way fridge anyhow. This one I got here is only 2-way. It's electric or propane. It doesn't run on 12 volt, and I'd like to have one that would run on 12 volt, even though that only maintains kind of sort of your temperature. It's better than nothing when you're driving down the road. At least you can keep some cooling going on with your fridge. So I'll get that worked out. I just hope I can get it fixed before I lose all of my groceries and stuff that are in the fridge. Alright, well, that's enough for now. Maybe I'll get some time to edit some of this video down and get some stuff posted tonight. If not, maybe in the morning. But tomorrow's probably going to be another travel day, or get my RV fixed day, and try to get over to western North Dakota so that I can get into Montana. I was going to stay for about 5 days in Wisconsin. That didn't work out, so I think what I'm going to do is get over to Montana, spend a couple days at Custer's Battlefield. I was there several decades ago, but I only got to spend a couple of hours, and that place is big. You could spend, if you're a history buff, kind of like I am, particularly military history, I could easily spend 2 days there. So I think that's my plan now. So, Wisconsin didn't work out, but I hope to do some cool things when I get into Montana. Catch you later. Well, I am in Medina, North Dakota, ever how you pronounce it. I'm getting by my beer there, Patches. I know how you are. Somewhere between Fargo and Bismarck, Patches. Leave that alone. So I'm about a third of the way through the state. Got quite a ways to go tomorrow. Today was an interesting day. Wasn't in the playbook, that's for sure. I mentioned the other day that my fridge just started acting up on propane. It wasn't cooling down on propane. Well, last night I was in a campground that had electricity, so I tried to switch the fridge over and run it on electricity. That didn't work either. It's not cooling down very well on either setting, so that's a kind of a problem. So anyhow, there happened to be a couple of RV dealership repair centers there in Detroit Lakes, where I was staying, and I called one of them up, and they said, well, bring your camper in at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll take a look at it, see what we can figure out. So I did that. I hung around the campground in the morning, which was nice. It is a nice place, and got to the RV place about 1, dropped the camper off, went and had some lunch at a nice little bar and grill, and they called about an hour later and said, man, we've checked it out, everything looks good, you got a good flame with your propane, you got good heat being generated by the electric element, so all that checks out, everything's in specs. We checked the flue to make sure it wasn't clogged up. We can't find anything wrong with it, so that's kind of where I'm at now. So about mid-afternoon I went to the Walmart there and just got a cheap styrofoam cooler and some ice, and I took all the stuff out of the fridge that I really want to keep cold, and I put it in that cooler with the ice, and just got on down the road. So I did not get on the road until mid-afternoon. I think it was almost 3 o'clock, and I just started driving then, and I drove till about 7 and stopped here in Medina. Just a little, it's just some little RV sites that circle a city. I mean, Medina is a whistle-stop town. There are probably a couple hundred people here at most. It's very small, out in the middle of nowhere, and apparently in this part of the country they do that a lot. If they've got a city park, they'll put in a few RV spots around it, and then you got electricity and water, and there's some toilets and a little shower down there that's usable. So, you know, 15 bucks a night is pretty cheap camping. It's nice and quiet here. I'm in a nice shaded spot. There's several other RVs here, but a lot of them look like they've been here for a long time. You can stay here, and I guess by the week, by the month, if you want. And it's like a lot of these campers are here for long term. So, but nobody's in them. They're vacant or unoccupied right now. So it's pretty much just me and the dogs and a few people that are trimming some of the trees and stuff up in the park here. And they look like they're about to wrap up. So when they get out of there, I think I'm gonna take the dogs over and let them have a little run in the park. But that's a pretty cool deal, you know, just driving down the road, down the interstate in the middle of nowhere, and got a little camping area by a city park here, and inexpensive, so it's nice. That's about it. You know, this part of the country looks a lot like Illinois. Actually, they grow a lot of corn, they grow a lot of soybeans, they're growing some other stuff. I think there's some clover around, but it's pretty flat. Pretty flat like Illinois. It just seems to be more expansive. There's fewer trees. You know, in Illinois you always have the fields that are broken up by the tree lines where it's bottomland, low spots where you got a little creek or some water running through, and they don't kill it. So, but here you don't really have that. And these fields are just wide open and there's nothing in between them, so you can see a long way. But there's not a lot to do here, so I'll just be staying here tonight. I got a little trip planning later this evening. I think I can barely get into Montana by the end of the day tomorrow, and then I'll be, I think, just a few hours away from the Custer battlefield area, and so maybe in a couple of days I'll be able to visit that. And I'll probably stay there a couple of days, and then head on west into western Montana. So it'd be nice if it would cool down some. It was 90 degrees most of the time when I was driving over here today. It cooled down to about 87 by the time I got here. Feels a little muggy. I'm sitting here perspiring, just sitting here, so I don't know. It's not supposed to be this friggin' hot this far north this time of the year. That's why I'm here. But apparently it is disgustingly miserable in the St. Louis area with 110 degree heat indexes and crap like that. So at least I'm not dealing with that business, and I am very thankful for that. So I think if there's anything else I want to cover. Oh, you know, something I think I forgot to mention. I meant to talk about this last night and I forgot about it. I actually drove across the Mississippi River yesterday going through Brainerd, Minnesota, and that river is much smaller there than it is in the St. Louis area. It's about the size of the Kaskaskia River when you get a little further south. You know, some of you guys in Illinois will know what I mean by that, but it was just kind of cool because, you know, obviously living in St. Louis, you drive in the St. Louis area, you drive across the Mississippi River all the time, and it's a big river. And I've actually followed that river all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, going down through Memphis and got into Mississippi a little ways, and then Louisiana and New Orleans, and then, you know, that cruise went on with Joel Commission and a bunch of others several years ago. We actually took that cruise ship down the Mississippi through the Delta out into the Gulf of Mexico. So it's just kind of neat having been through all of that section of the Mississippi to come up to the northern part, close to the headwaters. I mean, I don't know how far the headwaters were, maybe 100 miles north, and that river winds around a lot when you get into Minnesota, so there's still a lot of it to go before you got to the headwaters, but I wasn't that far from them, so that was kind of cool. And I wasn't expecting it. I just driving through Brainerd, and I saw this bridge coming up, and the sign off to the side of the bridge said Mississippi River, and I thought, oh, well, that's cool. You can see the northern part too. Much less impressive in Minnesota than it is in Missouri. So I'm just going to chill out this evening. No, really, I probably won't have any dinner. I had a big lunch there while I was waiting on to see what was up with the fridge there, and I'm not super hungry. I'll scarf a few Doritos and have a couple of beers and relax, do a little work maybe, mess with the dogs some, and I'll be hit the sack, man. I have not had a good night's sleep in several nights. Hopefully there won't be any friggin' storms tonight. We got some big storms about 12:30 this morning. They started up, and they were big. The camper was shaking all over the place, and I could see the trees just really bowing over in the wind, and a couple people lost their awnings, got them all torn up. So, and it lasted a long time. It was a pretty good sized system, and it was not moving fast. So I think that crap probably went on for close to 2 hours. And of course, you're not going to sleep when you're in a camper and all that crap's going on. You're not going to sleep, so kind of screwed up my night. So maybe tonight will be uneventful, and I can actually catch some Z's. I feel a little tired, not too bad, but I could use a good night's sleep. Alright, well, I'm going to stop yakking for now. If I think anything else, I'll get it on video, and as soon as I get someplace where I can stay for a couple of days, I'll edit this down and get some stuff posted. It's going to take me some time because I'm not familiar with how to edit these things down. I got some software for it, but I don't know how to use it, so I'm going to have to watch some tutorials and figure some stuff out, and I don't have the time when I'm just driving every day and staying somewhere overnight and getting back on the road. So alright, man, later. Oh, one more thing. I had a Schlafly's Yakima wheat ale just a little while ago. Very good beer. I recommend it. I really like it. It's kind of a hoppy wheat, not over the top with the hops, but it definitely is a hop forward wheat. Very tasty. And right now I'm having an O'Fallon Kite Tail, which is a summer ale. It's kind of a fruity ale, a little bit of hoppiness, but not bad. So I like this one too. I forgot I had them. Actually, I don't know what the hell I was doing this morning, rummaging around through some. Oh, I know what it was. But I've been having a lot of beers out of the cooler, and the cooler was getting a little low on brews, so I got in the 12-pack box to get some more, and I forgot that I actually had a variety of lots, just a couple of this kind of beer, a couple of that kind of beer type thing there, and I said, oh man, there's those Yakima wheats and the Kite Tails that I got for the trip. So threw them in the cooler, and they've been on ice all day, and now I'm enjoying them, and they are good. So not a bad way to spend the evening. See you later.